Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and this is another baseball reaction, and this suggestion came from my Discord, because I've got different servers, and one of the servers is basically suggestions. You can link suggestions that you want me to react to, and what I'm going to start doing now, because there's not as many people in my Discord, so it's probably a lot easier to get your suggestion watched, like for a video. I'm probably going to start doing one suggestion from YouTube, one suggestion from Discord every day, like one from the comments and one from the Discord server. So if you want like a better chance of me seeing them, obviously I see the most liked ones on these, but it's hard to see because there's so many comments on YouTube. Just go into the Discord and hopefully I'll see it over the coming days because there's so many suggestions already because people are new to it, etc. But hopefully once it gets like people get used to the server, there'll be less and less and just like people just waiting to suggest things, I guess. But this video is Madison Bumgarner's, I'm assuming that's how you say it, Epic World Series finish deserves a deep rewind. 2014 Giants Royals Game 7. I love the rewind videos, man. The deep rewind ones on baseball World Series moments are really, really intriguing for me because it's just like the way they sort of what's the word? The way they sort of set the videos, like they go into in-depth looks into the most random things, but it makes sense into like the video, like the context of the video. I really love it, man. SB Nation's videos are really growing on me. And it's just a shame because I don't know how many of these there are. Like, I don't know if there's like 20, 30, 40 more, or if there's only a few of like the rewind type videos on here because I really enjoy them. But let's get into it, man. I'm intrigued to see what it's about. And as I was talking about my Discord, I've got a link in my description if you want to join. Already 200 people, which is insane. I've had it for less than a day. I've linked it twice in 2 videos and there's already 200 people. It's bloody insane, but I appreciate it so much. Let's get into it and see what this is about.
It's October 29th, 2014, Kansas City, Missouri. This is Game 7 of the World Series.
I just noticed, I'm going to be my camera. This is going to be in... I think, yeah, I'm going to do this just because it'll be a lot easier. Because the scoreline isn't there? Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Sorry, you're going to see this little behind the scenes because I can see that the stuff's on the left-hand side. I thought that'd be a lot easier.
The Royals and Giants. San Francisco leads 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Kansas City has 2 outs and a man on third. We're about to see the final act in a truly epic performance. You might remember which epic performance I'm talking about, but do you remember how we got to this moment? What's he doing here? How did
I love this
happen?
sort of stuff.
Where did these runs come from?
Sets the scene.
By answering those questions, you'll realize how precarious, how precious the conditions are for this moment in time. And the only way to find those answers is to rewind.
Classic rewind, bro.
First of all, why are we in Kansas City?
Also, this is completely random. Is this a car? I see this in each one. Is this a car? I'm so confused. I guess it is. Yeah, let's get it. That's just out of context. That's just random as hell. I'm just intrigued.
First of all, why are we in Kansas City? After decades in the basement, the Royals finished 2014 with a better record than the Giants, and they won the American League wildcard to end a playoff drought of almost 30 years.
Okay.
But that's not why they had home field advantage. No.
Wild cards are like the games like where you just make it in, right? Like you've basically like you've got. I feel like you've got the last spot, and then you've got to play the most amount of games in the playoffs to reach the finals. Is that what the wild card is? I think that's what it is, but I may be
Because
wrong.
in 2014, we are still inhabiting the delightfully stupid era in which the league that won the MLB All-Star Game gets home field advantage in the World Series. And this year's event wasn't your typical All-Star game. It was the last one of Derek Jeter's career, a momentous stop on his long farewell tour. Jeter announced in February that this season would be his last, setting up a whole year in which every single opponent would bend over backwards to show him respect.
Oh, wow.
No, not like that. With a 2? No, not over there, over there. Yeah. Because he deserved respect, National League pitcher Adam Wainwright served him up absolute meatballs. Just big, fat pitches straight down the middle of the plate. And Jeets turned one of those freebies into a double that sparked a big scoring inning in a game the AL won 5-3. Wainwright readily admitted to grooving pitches for Jeter in that game. It was a whole controversy. So yeah, because of that, we're at the AL Stadium for Game 7. And because we're at an AL Stadium, the Giants have played this game with a designated hitter. And that DH, Michael Morse, despite playing with a strained oblique muscle, has batted in 2 of their 3 runs.
Strained oblique muscle? Wait, what even is an oblique muscle? It pointed at like his sort of his belly area, like the side, is it? Or is it like to do with your legs? What is the oblique muscle?
San Francisco's first run came off Morse's sac fly in the 2nd inning. And the
Oblique
third one,
Chris.
the
Oh,
one
it's
that
like
gave
the
San Francisco this
abs,
lead,
isn't it?
has batted in 2 of their 3 runs. San Francisco's first run came off Morse's sac fly in the 2nd inning. And the third one, the one that gave San Francisco this lead, had just a bit of help from the location. It had been a humid couple of days in Kansas City, which may have made the outfield grass a bit dewy once it cooled off at night. Either way, it's slick out there. So in the 4th inning, when Pablo Sandoval's grounder trickled onto the grass, Royals second baseman Omar Infante couldn't get the footing to throw him out at first.
I slid.
And another thing, Kauffman Stadium has a deep outfield, one of the deepest in the majors. So later in that same inning, Sandoval had enough space to tag up from 2nd to 3rd on a fly ball. And by the time Morse came up to bat, all it took was a little bloop single for Sandoval to truck home and break the 2-2 tie. So in a weird trickle-down way, the Giants have Derek Jeter and friends to thank for some of their scoring today. The American League won a game that not everyone was taking seriously, which means the Giants get to play with a deep outfield, slippery grass, and a DH here in Game 7. Of course, the Royals had all those things going for them too, but they're sitting on just 2 runs. They lost a chance to get more because of San Francisco defense, but also because of circumstance. Before the 2014 season, MLB expanded its instant replay rules, giving managers the right to trigger a replay by challenging an umpire's call.
Wow.
And today, that rule made a difference. In the bottom of the 3rd, the Royals had a man on first and no one out when Eric Hosmer smacked a sharp grounder up the middle. It looked like a threat until Joe Panik made a spectacular defensive play. Hosmer was called safe at first, but Giants manager Bruce Bochy contested the call. A year ago, he couldn't have done that. And after almost 3 minutes of deliberation and so much grumbling from the announcers,
I think we've seen enough looks at it. I mean, this is too long.
We had the first successful manager challenge in World Series history. And what could have been a big Royals inning was nipped in the bud by a double play unapparent to the human eye. And now,
that is mental.
Still sitting on just the 2 runs.
That's very interesting. I love this. Like, you wouldn't, for me anyway, I wouldn't know these sort of things about how the rules changed this year. And then something like that happens, the manager challenges it, and they're like, or the coach challenges it, and they actually get the challenge correct. That is mind-blowing.
But it's not too late to add more. All the Royals need is one good swing from Salvador Perez to drive a man in from 3rd and tie the game. Perez has been a hero before, pretty recently. Without his walk-off RBI single in the wildcard game, the Royals might not have made it this far. But tonight, heroics are a lot to ask of Salvador. He got drilled right in the thigh meat by a pitch in the 2nd inning. That definitely still hurts, and Perez is hitless this evening. It almost makes you wish this run could score a different way. And maybe it could have. Alex Gordon is the man on 3rd. Gordon succeeded with some bold base running earlier in the game. Back in the 2nd inning, that deep outfield gave him space to tag up and reach 3rd base on a fly ball, which put him in position to score KC's 2nd run soon thereafter.
Alex Gordon just stole a run by tagging up from 2nd base to get to 3rd.
This time, Gordon is on 3rd base because of a very, very poorly timed
that was bad.
Error. But he may have shortchanged himself. Maybe. The ball was just getting relayed when Gordon reached 3rd. He had a chance, albeit a dicey one, at one of the biggest inside the park homers ever. But KC's 3rd base coach held him up. Despite that deep outfield, despite that wet grass.
I didn't realize that, because I was about to say, like, how players make their decisions, because they're not going to constantly be looking back, like, how they decide to run to the next base, or if it's safe enough to go, if like if they have a chance of making like the run to the next base. I didn't realize they have like a coach who like sort of tells them to stop or keep going. That's kind of interesting, but that's something that I guess I've learned.
Despite prior success with aggressive base running, the Royals opted to forego the risk and park Gordon at 3rd, leaving the game in the hands of his teammates. So there he is. Now we got to talk about the man who's trying to keep Gordon from reaching home. This is Madison Bumgarner, San Francisco's ace. He didn't start this game, and it is pretty amazing that he's on the mound right now in the bottom of the 9th. It's a little bit lucky too. Let's start there. Come with me back to the NLCS for a second. The Giants ended that series on a walk-off Game 5 homer from Travis Ishikawa. But they also watched Ishikawa struggle in left field. And in this World Series, as recently as yesterday in fact, Ishikawa has had more problems in left, including some slip-ups on that slick outfield grass. Bruce Bochy didn't want any more outfield blunders, not in a Game 7. So even with Ishikawa's big homer in the rearview mirror, Bochy swapped offense for defense tonight and gave Juan Perez the start in left. This would become important in the bottom of the 5th. It was at that juncture that Bumgarner entered the game. Bumgarner had absolutely dominated the playoffs, including wins as the starter in games 1 and 5 of this series. At the same time, Bumgarner was approaching 50 innings in the postseason.
I thought they'd say 50 years old. I was like, wait, what? That's interesting. So he struggled in the previous position, and then it's weird how that sort of works into place, and now he's doing incredible what he's doing here now.
An MLB record.
From
This
playing
was a
ball
risk.
in a certain position.
Bumgarner was the hottest pitcher on earth, but he was
Wow.
also a starter unaccustomed to relief and approaching an unprecedented workload. And within moments, Bumgarner gave up a single to Omar Infante, first batter he faced. Not a good sign. Infante advanced to second on a sac bunt. With that runner in scoring position, next up for the Royals was Nori Aoki, a left-handed batter with a notable tendency to hit the ball to the opposite field. And so he did. Hard. Aoki f***ing cracked that thing up the left field line. And if it dropped, a run would probably score, the game would be tied, and it would be tough not to look at Bumgarner and say, look, this guy's been amazing, but he's hit his limit and we're going to fall apart if we don't pull the plug. But San Francisco's bench coach expected Aoki to hit the ball to left, so he had the outfield shifted that way.
Oh, jeez.
And as we've established, the left fielder in pursuit wasn't the error-prone Ishikawa. It was Perez who made a graceful running catch to likely save a run and likely save Bumgarner's time on the mound. Bumgarner did not squander that time. From there, Mad Bum retired 13 straight batters, just mowing dudes down until that. Gordon broke up Bumgarner's streak with some help from the Giants outfield, but for better or worse, he stopped at third. And now, here we are. Royals down 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth, man on third, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Salvador Perez's leg still hurts from getting drilled before, but he's KC's final hope to drive in a run that maybe should have already scored. One swing could turn the Royals' long-awaited playoff breakthrough into something even greater.
Jeez.
Bumgarner is 1 out away
from finishing one of the greatest
postseason
is this going to be an underdog story
pitching
again?
in history. Or 1 bad pitch away from blowing the whole thing. Okay, we've arrived. Welcome to a moment in history.
What's happened there?
Send the ball in foul territory.
Oh, bro, the pressure of that guy right there. Bro, his heart must have been racing because you've got to really realise he's waiting for the ball to come down for however long, what, 5-10 seconds? And one instant move, and you've not caught it, and you've possibly lost. And he goes and catches it. Oh, mate, the pressure in that situation to catch that is crazy. Look at his reaction straight after as well.
For that performance, Madison Bumgarner would get 2014 World Series MVP and Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. The Royals, of course, will go on to win the World Series the very next year, so you don't have to feel sorry for them. And Derek Jeter would go on to ruin the Miami Marlins. Thanks very much.
This was a cool video, man. This is a very cool video. I really enjoy SB Nations, man. The way they style their videos, it's just something I can't get over. It's so intriguing to me. Let's look at the comments. This has to be the worst feeling to end a World Series on. A pop fly in foul territory. You can run, but you can't do anything. The only thing you can do is watch your demise. 3 rings by the age of 25 in baseball is actually, that's wild. They in baseball they can play at certain points to 40 and possibly onwards, depending on the style of player you are. 3 by 25 is wild. Yeah, you know it's the last. But is that because he bought them? I think I've seen something about how he bought a team. Maybe after he retired. Crawford had a cannon, no chance to score. This is intriguing though. This is a very cool video, and once again, this suggestion came from my Discord. So if you want to join my Discord and you want a better opportunity of suggesting, or you just want to interact with other people who are watching these videos or just interested in sport, just click the link in my description. And yeah, man, let's get to know each other. Let's get to know each other even more. I'm sometimes in the what's it called? I keep saying video call. It's not video call. The voice chat, so you can talk to each other over microphone, etc. Which is quite interesting because you get to know each other more and just all that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. And until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.